This is the Owen J. Roberts Board of School Directors regular business meeting being held on May 27, 2025 at 6 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and presentation of colors by the Navy Junior Reserves Officer Training Corps, followed by a moment of silence. Present colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Please join us in a moment of silence as we reflect on those serving in the United States Armed Forces, both past and present, the elected leaders for the state of Pennsylvania, and elected leaders of our nation. We have much to be thankful for in our community. Color guard, post colors. Please be seated. It is nice to see so many smiling and happy faces today. Thank you for being here with us. We are going to start through our agenda, and we have lots of wonderful student and staff recognition today. And we will take a pause after we get through our students and our staff recognitions and go into recess for a little while so we can do some personal congratulations and take some photos, and then we will reconvene and start back with the business of the meeting. But I also wanted to take a moment as we come to, I think, the last meeting that our students will be at to thank our NJROTC cadets and our staff for their support of the school board and our meetings this year. So thank you. An executive session announcement 3.1, the Board of School Directors met on the following dates in executive session to discuss items in one or more of the following areas: legal, personnel, or real estate matters on May 27, 2025. And I will now turn it over to Dr. Stout for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Peterson. And for the last time, we are going to have Maggie Mullen do her student council executive report.
Good evening. Starting with elementary school, spring has been a busy time. PSSAs for English language arts, math, science have been completed, and our students work hard to demonstrate their knowledge. A shout out to our staff members who have helped to ensure students were ready for the test, most especially those students who are new to online testing this year. Beyond testing, there were numerous fun events that filled May's calendar. We were treated to chorus, orchestra, band concerts that delighted audiences of all ages, student artwork, and the art shows that highlighted the talents of our students, field trips, book fairs, and other fun events rounded out our calendars as well, as we look now forward to our final end-of-year activities. There's no shortage of excitement at the elementary level this time of year. As we move into the month of June, we want to wish our sixth graders well as they prepare to move to the middle school. We know they're ready and excited for the next step of their educational journey. In the middle school, over the past couple of weeks, our talented middle school performed art students had their final concert of the spring. Congrats to all of the band, chorus, and orchestra students who performed the packed auditoriums. 7th and 8th grade awards assemblies will take place on Tuesday, June 3rd during the school day in the middle school auditorium. We look forward to celebrating these accomplishments of many of our students. The 8th grade dance is this Friday night in the middle school. The dance is sponsored by the Student Council and is wonderfully an opportunity for us to celebrate with our graduating 8th grade students. Student Council has also been busy planning all sorts of fun activities for the 7th and 8th grade students for the last 2 half days of school. This past Thursday, students in our Youth and Philanthropy Club held their annual luncheon, during which they awarded gifts to several nonprofit organizations in the area. This year, donations were made to the Animal House Project, Lucky Dog Pet Rescue, Mainline Animal Rescue, and Coatesville Veterans Hospital. Representatives from these organizations were presented to receive their gifts during the student-run ceremony. Lastly, in the high school, each May we recognize Teacher Appreciation Week, and we want to begin by saying thank you to all of the teachers at the high school and throughout the district. We appreciate all of the work that you do on behalf of the students in the district. We are excited to reclaim the LGI for regular use this week with the conclusion of the IB, AP, and Keystone testings. It's been a long month for our students, and we are proud of their efforts and eager to find out how they performed. April and May showcase the wide range of opportunities that the high school students have. We have had reading Olympics. We have had students participate in several school, county, state, and regional level events, including OJR Hackathon, Reading Olympics, Envirothon, and PMEA festivals. Congratulations to our indoor percussion, DECA, and Odyssey of the Mind students who participated in the international level competition in the recent weeks. We have recently hosted Farm Day, art show, theater club, band, orchestra, and choral concerts and film festivals, Special Olympics, and Best Buddies luncheon. Congratulations to our NJROTC unit, which we have named the Distinguished Unit with Honors for the first time in school history, which among other things gives our school 3 nominations to the Service Academics for the class of 2026. The class of 2028 has also had the opportunity to visit the Pocono Valley, which they were not deterred by the poor weather and had a great day together. Congratulations to our girls lacrosse, boys track and field, and girls track and field teams who all won PAC championships this spring. 14 of those track and field athletes qualified for the state track field championships, sending a strong OJR contingent to Shippensburg last week. We also want to congratulate our girls flag football team who made the playoffs the first year as a program in this program. We have enjoyed the number of special events for our seniors, including our first ever decision day, first senior future teacher dinner, and prom. Our celebrations of our seniors continues this week. This morning, we celebrated senior breakfast while distributing yearbooks and caps and gowns for the students. Tomorrow, our students will return to their elementary schools in their caps and gowns for the annual senior walk. Thursday, we will hold both senior awards and the senior sports awards ceremonies. All of this leading into graduation on Friday, June 6th at 6:30 p.m. in the stadium with the weather-related makeup date of Saturday, June 7th at 9:30 a.m. Graduation is a ticketed event, and students will receive their tickets at the graduation practice. We look forward to celebrating with our students and families next Friday. Thank you.
So Maggie, I want to thank you for serving as the 2025 Student Government Executive Council President and being the student representative on our school board this year. And we wish you the best of luck at West Virginia University next year. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And now to your successor, I'd like to welcome Vansh Agarwal as the incoming Student Government Executive Council President. So Vansh, how are you? Welcome. Okay, now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Kohler for the valedictorian salutatorian introductions. And then Mr. Kohler will also recognize OJR seniors who have chosen to serve in the military upon graduation, and students in our DECA and Odyssey of the Mind programs who received awards. Mr. Kohler.
All right, there we go. Good evening. I am lucky to be joined in the room this evening by a number of our high school students, staff, and their families. I'm excited to have an opportunity to celebrate many of our students with the board and the larger community this evening. As we prepare for commencement exercises next week, this evening we will recognize our salutatorian and our valedictorian for the class of 2025. As is tradition here in the district, we will learn about these students first through the lens of hearing the students speak about an educator that had a significant impact on their development. And then we will hear from the educator regarding their lasting impressions of the student. So first, I would like to invite Mr. Andrew Dibbett and Mr. Keith Morris to the podium. Andrew is our salutatorian and will be studying mechanical engineering at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in the fall, where he was the recipient of the prestigious Rensselaer Medal.
Good evening. Good evening, school board members, Principal Kohler, Superintendent Dr. Stout, and everyone else gathered here. I am deeply honored to be here tonight in order to recognize the teacher who has had the greatest impact on me out of any educator that I have ever had. Mr. Morris has been my teacher since freshman year when, after I discussed it with him, I added his gifted enrichment class to my second semester schedule. I have taken gifted every single year since then. It has become a staple of my Okay, wow. It has become a staple of my high school experience, providing me with both a more structured way of exploring my interests and a community of smart, unique people with whom I could have interesting, memorable conversations. Outside of school, I love to work on projects related to my interests, like researching sociolinguistics. However, I admittedly can struggle with properly structuring and completing them. With Mr. Morse's guidance, I've been able to better focus my curiosity so that I can organize my findings and thoughts into a presentable format. He's helped me become a better researcher, presenter, and thinker. The community of his classroom has also benefited me greatly, as Mr. Morse has fostered an environment where honesty and authenticity are valued and encouraged. In my conversations with Mr. Morse, I have found him to be an individual who cares greatly about his students and wants them to have meaningful, successful futures. Mr. Morse, for all your advice, support, and humor, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. My cup runneth over. The celebration of students is a teacher's dream. I'm ecstatic and honored to take part in the celebration of the culmination of 13 years of education in the O.N.J. Roberts School District for Andrew. The first week of school, Andrew started strong. All 5'4" of kind-natured Andrew stated in front of the class, "Mr. Morris, I'm going to become a bad boy, so I'm going to be working on my bad boy persona." My reply, Andrew, first, there are very few bad boys named Andrew, maybe Andy or A-Dog or Left Eye Andy, but perhaps not Andrew. And second, I'm pretty sure bad boys never use the phrase working on my bad boy persona. In addition to being funny, Andrew gets it. He's built for school and school is built for him. He has a wonderful and nuanced sense of humor, a trait vital for a rich life and survival in my classroom, and a place where I've thoroughly enjoyed my experiences with Andrew. Perhaps not knowing him like I do, I will paraphrase from a portion of my letter of recommendation to best further describe this young man. As an academic student, Andrew has proven to be an extremely conscientious, hardworking, and eager learner who is bright, intellectually quick, extremely creative, and has always challenged himself in his coursework. His self-made projects and goals in gifted enrichment in the gifted enrichment elective have always been highly ambitious, of high rigor, and have always proven very, very meaningful. Andrew has an innate sense of fairness, fierce senses of loyalty and commitment, and a mind prepared to learn and open to new challenges. Andrew is very personable and caring of others, is liked and sought by his peers, serves as a positive and constructive guiding force in the classroom, and he leads his life with integrity and a deep sense of family. In my careers past as a technical professional in private industry, starting, owning, and operating successful businesses, having worked in with our armed forces, and now as a public educator for 22 years, I've worked with many highly educated, expertly trained, and extremely motivated and driven personnel. Few of these men and women had the willingness to learn, creativity and problem solving, empathy, emotional intelligence, and professional potential of Andrew. I could share examples of each, but let me be most personal in telling you that I trust Andrew implicitly. Andrew, I will say this directly to you. With all that I find to be your many fine qualities, one of which is not being a bad boy, I am certain that I have not, nor has anyone yet seen you at your full potential. I'm convinced that you will far exceed even your own very high expectations of yourself, and it will be Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute where you'll be studying a degree for mechanical engineering that will benefit from your continued growth. You will continue to be a builder, contributor, and leader, and best of all, Andrew, you will make them proud, exactly as you have done with me. Congratulations on your achievements, and I wish you the very best, Andrew.
And Andrew, I'd like to invite you up quickly here to give you a certificate on behalf of the board in recognition of your spot as the class salutatorian. Thank you, Dr. Williams. All right. I would now like to invite up our valedictorian, Mr. Boone Taguchi, and Mrs. Adrienne Andres to the podium. Boone will be studying either mechanical engineering or aerospace engineering at Purdue University in the fall, where he will also be a member of the Honors College.
I got an email about not exceeding 250 words, so apologies, Prof. in advance. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited and honored to be here with all of you. When I was asked to invite a teacher who made a significant impact on my high school experience, I immediately knew who it would be. I had Mrs. Andres, or Profe as we call her, for Honor Spanish 4 last year, and I had the pleasure to have her as my teacher again for AP Spanish this year. I was never the biggest fan of Spanish class, so I was naturally drawn more to STEM-related classes. I am going to school for engineering after all. But Profe had this style of teaching that captivated me and truly inspired me to learn more about the Spanish language and the culture of Spanish-speaking countries. Somehow, you've made me interested in verb conjugation like the imperfect subjunctive or the conditional future. I'll forever cherish the memories of 2 years of Spanish with you, from all the Spanish songs to Guernica by Picasso to Piedras to poems written by Jose Marti. You have truly made an impact on my life that I'll never forget. Gracias por ser la mejor profesora que podría pedir. Thank you for being the best teacher I could ask for.
Well, I feel like we may have written our speeches together because there's a common thread here. But good evening, and what an honor it is to be here this evening. I have had the privilege to work with Boone in both Honors 4 last year and this year in Advanced Placement Spanish. It has truly been a gift to spend 2 years working with Boone and watching him grow into the accomplished young man who stands here today as valedictorian. His dream to pursue aerospace engineering would take many students on a different path, one that does not include AP Spanish. I am impressed by his dedication to learning a language and his desire to master it. He recognizes that studying a foreign language involves more than just learning to speak it. It offers a meaningful opportunity to understand other cultures and develop empathy. Boone values learning about different cultures and is a well-rounded individual who will continue to be a positive influence on those around him. I admire his insightful participation in class, his creativity with presentations, and his seamless application of complex grammar structures and high-level vocabulary to his oral presentations and written work. He jumps right in when we salsa dance or flamenco dance, or to sing along with Latin music we use in class. Last week, a classmate of his played the beautiful guitar that Boone made for his engineering class, as the rest of the class sat in a circle and sang along. These special memories will hold a special place in my heart as I think back on the times and years to come. Outside the classroom, you can find him on the football field or volunteering to tutor little children at the CCLU. It is in Boone's nature to work hard, be kind, and make a difference in the community, but it also comes from the nurturing and the values his parents instilled in him. So to them, I also say congratulations on raising a fine young man. Gracias, Boone, por invitarme esta noche. Es un gran placer hablar de ti y tus logros increíbles.
And Boone, I'm going to invite you back up to the podium. I have a certificate for you on behalf of the board in recognition of your position as valedictorian. Congratulations. Profe and Mr. Morris, in recognition of you being here this evening, I'm going to put you to work. Can the two of you come up and help me out a little bit here? Thank you. All right, so next we are going to recognize members of student groups that have earned success at state, national, and international level competitions. And we're going to start with our DECA students. I've got a ton of certificates here, and so I'm going to have you guys help me balance this out. Unfortunately, Mr. Burtonette couldn't be here this evening with us, so I'm going to provide these certificates on behalf of him. For students, as I'm calling your name, there are some names that I'm going to get wrong tonight. I want to apologize for that. As I'm doing certificates, please correct me. I want to make sure that we get your name pronounced correctly. But for those not familiar with DECA, DECA is the only international student organization operating through schools to attract young people to careers in marketing, merchandising, management, and entrepreneurship. The DECA State Career Development Conference took place in February in Hershey. At the state conference, we had 3,800 students from across the state that convened to compete in business and marketing events. 31 of our students were recognized with awards at this event, 18 of whom also advanced to the International Career Development Conference in Orlando, which was held in late April, where they competed with 23,000 other DECA members from around the world. At this time, I would like to invite all of the members of DECA forward, and then I will call names so that we can give you a certificate from the board in recognition of your achievement. So DECA students, if you can come on up to the front, please. And I'm going to recognize everybody. I know we did RSVPs, but I don't know who is here, who is not here. And I want to make sure that we don't miss anybody. So students are being recognized in the order in which they appeared on the agenda. So we had Liam Brown, Adit Shah, Arush Dubey, Boone Taguchi. Congratulations, Boone. John C. Thadasetti, Colin Meacham, Sarah Ladd, Emma Stanek, Ayana Nukula, Riley Surfass, Harini Sundar, Natalie Remo, Devi Sajiv Nair, Joy Oyang, Sejal Pola, Megha Gudapudi, Lauren Hatt, Samarth Goldas, Emery Harmanos, Shnisha Serini Vasan, Soham Bandiopadhyay, Dira Sadish, Swanith Vupalapadi, Suraj Gautam, Aisha Muhammad. Aditi Patil. Did I get it right? Okay. Mara Latif. Is that right? Mara Latif? Mara Latif, excuse me. Travis Billesbach Scholl. Alexander Sharp. Amina Muhammad. And Caroline Gwynn. Okay. That's right. We will get that. Next up, we're going to recognize our Odyssey of the Mind students. Odyssey of the Mind, for those who are not familiar, teaches students how to develop and use their natural creativity to become problem solvers. Teams of students come together to solve unique, open-ended problems. This year, the high school had 2 teams excel at both the state finals at Pocono Mountain East Campus in April, and then again at the World Finals at Michigan State University last week. So we're going to recognize 2 teams tonight. We're going to recognize the vehicle team and the structural engineering team. And I'm going to invite Mr. Polachek up to help us out with that. Do you want to read names and share any details that you know more of than I have? I will get through it.
So the two teams that we have here, one of them was actually first place at state finals, state champions, and finished fourth at Michigan State University at world finals. The second group was second place at states and fifth place at world finals. Let's start with them. All right. The awesome Mr. Jonathan Alex. Yes. Yes. Asha Dada. Katie Sister Salutatorian Dibbets. Mr. Cooper Groth couldn't be here tonight, but feel free to applaud anyway. Ms. Claire McAllister. Aisha Muhammad, I heard that name before. And Caroline Newitt. The second group is the state champion group, fourth place at Michigan State. Let's start with Seamus Fry. Not here. How about Nathan Lineman? Ryan Matthews? Oh, I know I saw Mina Muhammad here. Juliet Maurer. Mr. Will Peterson. And Max Zimmerman. Thank you very much to the board, the administration, the parents for all of your support. I know the kids are looking forward to next year's problems and competitions already. They were just talking about it a few minutes ago. Thank you.
And lastly, this evening, I want to recognize members of our indoor percussion ensemble. This is a group that has been growing in size and sophistication over several years and has reached unprecedented success over the last 2 years. This year's group finished fourth at the Mid-Atlantic Percussion Society final event, and then had an opportunity to go to Dayton, Ohio in mid-April for the WGI Percussion World Championships. This was the second consecutive year that the team went to this event. Building off of last year, the team advanced out of the first day of the competition and advanced to the semifinal round, where they ultimately finished in 16th place. At this time, I would like to invite members of the Indoor Percussion Ensemble and any of their staff to please step forward to receive their certificates. Yeah, fine. I'm gonna have Dan Herbert here. We'll let him. How you doing? Good to see you. You as well. Thank you very much. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna let you say a few words because you can provide more context than I can, and then I will help you with certificates, but I want to make sure we get all the names right as well.
Tyler's ready to go. Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. We have, as you can see, a pretty sizable group of kids that works harder than I think anyone I've ever seen. And as it was kind of teed up for me, the group has grown in size, sophistication, support, especially is really what I want to get across tonight from not only you guys, everyone in this room, the parents of every single one of these kids, as well as our staff. And we have a few members of our staff here tonight as well. But we are just so incredibly proud of the work these guys do, and we're certainly going to keep that momentum going. And again, we very much appreciate being able to be recognized tonight. So thank you one more time. All right. Sure. Okay. All right. This is alphabetical order. You got to be ready. You guys are not in alphabetical order, but you're close enough. Okay, you got the certificates. All right, here we go. As you guessed, Max Ackerman. Tara Ash is not here. Great. Brianna Atkins. Also not here. Good start. Elliot Berry. Hi, Elliot. I'm gonna. All right, we'll do this. There you go. Bella Bruton. Jack Bruton. Maddie Carlisle. Tyson Gertie is not here. I knew that. Eli Gonzalez. Evelyn Gore. Not here. And Brooks Grant. Delaney Grosser. I'm going to keep trying to go at a pace where it's just nonstop applause. I think this is good. We're going to keep moving. Justin Handler. Miranda Horger is not here. And Quinn Hostetter. Mars House. Not here. And we keep going. Mackenzie Keith. Riley Kirk. Liz. Rachel Klemp. And also Maxim Kuzniar. Kai Ludwig. DJ Manigold. And Nat Mansfield. Miriam Martin. Isaac Mendenhall. Emma Morrow. Adam Muma. They're waiting. Casey Neri. We are really, really close to being done, I promise. Sabrina Nichols is not here, and Alex Roach. Matt Roberts. Tyler Roth. Brenna Shea. Thought she was here. Okay. Oliver Smith. Austin Sprenger. So close. Ethan Townsley. And Cecilia Trainer, who is also not here. Thank you again. We are finally done. Appreciate it, guys.
Wow, pretty exciting. Do you have another one, Steve, or was that it?
I do not. I was just going to say thank you so much. We appreciate the opportunity to recognize all of these wonderful students. So thank you all for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kohler. We're pretty fortunate, as you can see, in our district to have a lot of successful students. Andrew, I do need to say that I was at a concert with Mr. Kohler a few weeks ago, and he pointed you out on stage playing the piano, saying that's our salutatorian. I wish I would have heard Mr. Morris's speech beforehand, because I would have said that's a bad boy up there. So that was pretty cool. But congratulations all of our students who are here tonight. So a couple other, this is the night of recognition, so we're just going to keep going here. So I just want to just announce who our PTO, PTA presidents are. I don't think any of them are here tonight, but I think we may have a couple that are on Zoom. So I'll just read their respective names and thank them for the help that they provide our schools throughout the school year. So East Coventry Elementary School, it's Casey Michelli. East Vincent Elementary, Jim Daly. French Creek, Lori Piddick. North Coventry, Sarah Boone. West Vincent, Ashley Jakubik. And the middle school is Sarah Warner. So thank you to our PTA and PTO president. So the next part is bittersweet, but we're going to recognize some retirees in the district that are here. We actually have 10 retirees, but 6 are in attendance here tonight. So first, I'll read the names of the folks that just are not here, and then I have some comments about our retirees that are in the room. So the 4 that are not here, William Curran, who's an East Vincent Elementary School floor specialist, Karen Hudutsky, East Vincent Elementary attendance secretary, Susan Snyder, middle school paraprofessional, and Terry Wright, high school paraprofessional. So congratulations to those 4 folks. So now we're going to talk about our folks that are here tonight. And I didn't walk into the room till right before we get started, but I assume that they're here. So I'm going to ask them to stand up as I read their names. So first, Ingrid Fake, middle school art teacher. Hi, Ingrid. Good to see you. So just some comments about Ingrid that we have to read tonight. Ingrid's accomplishments are many, but to name a few, she designed a one-of-a-kind interdisciplinary curriculum and co-taught art and world languages for 9 years with Latin, German, French, and Spanish teachers. She wrote and received a grant to add the fused glass program to the middle school. She received the Outstanding Visual Arts Community Awards for the middle school multiple times, guided the art club through the process of creating huge murals and paintings on ceiling tiles, the recipient of the Target Teacher Scholarship to study art abroad, where she studied art and created art lesson plans, unit plans of study through Kutztown University and the University of Arts in Japan, Spain, France, and Italy. She designed and implemented adaptive strategies, tools, and projects for the visual arts for special education students. Ingrid is proud that several students eventually became professional artists, designers, architects, ceramics, or ceramicists, I guess. I don't know, I never said that word before. Glass artists and art teachers themselves. Ingrid and her husband are avid travelers and RVers and are planning an extensive trip to New England and the Canadian Maritimes. Ingrid also hopes to achieve her lifelong goal of becoming an author. So Ingrid, congratulations. So next, Chris Ficca from North Coventry. Chris, there you are. See you. So Chris joined the OJR family 19 years ago and has spent the majority of her career as the attendance clerk at North Coventry. In her role, Chris is responsible for interacting daily with parents and students as they come and go from school, including registering all new students at North Coventry Elementary School. It is not an overstatement to say that Chris knows everyone or has some form of personal connection with each person who walks through the door. Chris is a proud community member, volunteering her time with the Owen J. Roberts Education Foundation. Chris's 3 children are all graduates of OJR, and her 2 daughters are teachers themselves. The love of education runs deep in her family. In retirement, Chris is looking forward to exploring more national parks with her husband in their camper. Seems to be a common theme there with the campers and RVs. Spending time with family and friends, and finding additional opportunities to volunteer in the area. So Chris, congratulations. Also from North Coventry, Annette Lima. Annette, are you here? Oh, I thought you were going to be here tonight, but okay. Next, we have Cynthia Whitmire from North Coventry. Cynthia. So with Cindy, after 25 years of unwavering commitment as a paraprofessional at North Coventry, Mrs. Whitmire is retiring, leaving behind a legacy of compassion, dedication, and a profound impact on countless students and staff. Since joining North Coventry in 1994, Mrs. Whitmire has been a constant presence in the classroom, working tirelessly to support both students and teachers. Her deep love for children and her belief in their potential have been evident in every interaction. Whether assisting with lessons, providing individual support, or offering a comforting word, Mrs. Whitmire has touched the lives of many. Her retirement marks the end of an era at North Coventry Elementary, but her influence will continue to resonate within our halls. We are grateful for her years of service and the positive difference she has made in our school community, and we look forward to having her back as a volunteer. So Cindy, congratulations on your retirement. Next, and I'm not sure if he snuck into the room, Todd Mangle. Mr. Mangle, there he is. Kind of like a rock star, Mr. Mangle. But Todd started working at OJR in 1994 and has been the band director for 31 years. As band director, Todd conducts the concert, jazz, and marching bands. He's also the department chair for the secondary music teachers. Over his career, he has conducted over 100 concerts in the auditorium, participated in well over 100 cavalcades, and led performances at over 400 football games. He has helped to develop and perfect the model for effective school and parent collaboration by supporting a robust music parents organization that provides invaluable support to the students. Under his guidance, his students have been consistent participants in PMEA, district, regional, and state festivals. Under his leadership, students have performed at venues throughout the state and country, with amusement parks among his favorite, including Hershey Park, Knoebels Amusement Resort, and Cedar Point Amusement Park. One of the highlights of every band member's OJR experience, and Mr. Mangle's, was the trip that the band took to Disney every 4 years. Planning and taking the band to Florida for a week is a huge undertaking, but Todd has the logistics down to a science and has some of his best memories at Disney with his students. In 2023, he fulfilled a dream by having the jazz band open and perform with the world-famous Glenn Miller Orchestra at the Sunnybrook Ballroom. This honor was then replicated a few weeks ago, and I was fortunate enough to be there when the jazz band returned to Sunnybrook to perform with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. Todd, it's been a real pleasure. One of the things that I said to Todd, I don't know if you saw his last concert here, but when he turned over the, I'll call it the baton or the conducting sticks, whatever you want to term them, to Ben, just a classy move in the middle of the final song. So Todd, congratulations. And I know Mrs. Peterson has some comments too.
Yep. I don't know if she's here. Is Mrs. Mangle in the room? But while it is Mr. Mangle's retirement, it also is the end of an era with Mrs. Mangle in the band program. And I wanted to take a moment to honor her contribution as not only our color guard instructor for many of those 400 performances, but for anyone who has ever been at a football game or a cavalcade or anytime the OJR band has taken the field, it is Mrs. Mangle's voice that introduces the band. And it is part of who we are, that final moment as the band takes the field, the here we are, the pride of OJR, the Owen J. Roberts High School Marching Band. So I wanted to take a moment to thank you, obviously, but also to share my thanks with Mrs. Mangle.
And last but certainly not least on this list is someone sitting at our table to my right, Jackie Crumrine. And Jackie told me last year she was considering retirement. We have a check-in every week, and I just refused to ask her if she was going to do it. So I was in denial the entire time until she finally told me, I think around December, that she was officially retiring. So just want to take a few moments to just talk a little bit about Jackie. Want to give a moment to give special recognition to Jackie Crumrine, our Chief Financial Officer, who is retiring from Owen J. Roberts after 26 years of service to our community. Jackie's steady leadership has ensured that our district has operated in a fiscally responsible manner and has guided us through challenging economic times. Her award-winning efforts have ensured that our students and classrooms have consistently received the best possible financial support. And if you watch our board meetings every year, we receive awards from our business office for the work that they do with their accounting. And it's just, when I was considering coming here as superintendent and doing my research, just the first thing I heard was Jackie Crumrine. She's the best, and she has confirmed that over my 4 years. In my 4 years with OJR, I've relied on Jackie's counsel and advice countless times, and I'm incredibly honored to have been her teammate. I am thankful for her service. We often talk about showing gratitude toward the staff who have chosen to lend their talent to our school district. At the very top of that list, you will find Jackie's name. She has been an irreplaceable member of our school community. On behalf of our entire district, we wish Jackie nothing but the best in her next adventure. She's truly earned it and deserves our highest praise and appreciation. Thank you, Jackie. And I think Rita may have a couple words for you too, Jackie.
I just wanted to, on behalf of the current board and the hundreds of board members that came before over the last 26 years, to thank you not only for your service, but the integrity and the knowledge you have brought to this position. There is not a student here who has not benefited from your work, hands down. There is not a contract that has been negotiated, an agreement over the last 26 years, I've got Dr. Soder crying, that has not, that you have not worked hard and with complete due diligence and integrity to represent our students, our community, and this board. And we are incredibly thankful. I speak for the hundreds who came before me for the work you have done. Thank you.
So that's always bittersweet, but congratulations to all of our retirees. We work in a really special place, and it's confirmed quite a bit. There are many upcoming events in the next few weeks for seniors, including the Senior Sports Awards Banquet, the Senior Awards Assembly, and the culminating event, something called graduation, coming up here, which is scheduled for Friday, June 6th. Graduations is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. with a rain date of Saturday, June 7th at 9:30. And I'm already starting to look at the forecast right now. It's looking a little hot, Mr. Kohler. So we've been pretty fortunate the last couple of years, but we'll make it through. But really look forward to that. Commencement is just unbelievable here. And seniors who are here, look forward to giving you your diploma in a little over a week. So, and that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your attention. I know, it's a good day. We are going to take a brief recess and give everyone a chance to stretch their legs and make their exit if they choose to before we get into the meat of the meeting. Thank you. Okay, we are back in session. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we are moving on to agenda item 5, public comment. 5.1, public comment on agenda items. There are 2 opportunities for public comment. The first section is for information, proposals, and statements from individuals or delegations pertaining to items on the agenda that will be voted on tonight. Speakers are to indicate your name, township of residence, and the items on the agenda to which your comments are addressed. Speakers will be limited to not more than 3 minutes. Please understand that this is not a time for dialogue with the board. Rather, the board will listen to all comments and consider them in future deliberations. The second section will be at the end of the meeting and is for residents to speak on any item. Also, if you have a question for the school board, please email all Board of School Directors and school board members at ojrsd.net. For anyone online who would like to make a comment, please use the raise hand function. When it is your turn to speak, please state your name, township of residence, and the agenda item. Okay, we are moving on to board committee reports.
I thought somebody was going to call. I signed up for public comment
On agenda items.
on
yes.
agenda items. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to discuss the vote for,
You need to state your name, township
I
of
got you,
residence,
I
and
got
the
you.
agenda item that you're speaking to.
my name is David Anthony, South Coventry, and I'd like to talk about the pending vote for the construction management for Skanska.
And- Do we know what agenda item that is?
I don't,
13.2827. Okay, thank you.
all right. All right, good evening again. My name is David, and I saw online that you guys were going to be voting or discussing the construction management for the upcoming $90 million high school, middle school renovation. And choosing this firm, I looked at Skanska and I saw that they had very little, if any, Pennsylvania K-12 experience or presence out there. And maybe I missed something in my research, although, being in the construction field, I thought I was looking at the right places, but I'm going to read a little bit here so I stay within the time, but upon reviewing their background, like I said, they appear to have very limited, if any, K-12 public school construction in Pennsylvania. As someone in construction, I think it's very important, the wealth of experience the Pennsylvania school construction market brings, if you've had experience in that. As you deliberate, I urge you to consider the substantial benefits to selecting a firm, and I would imagine you looked at other firms other than Skanska, although I couldn't see who else you might have looked at, with a deep understanding and proven experience in the Pennsylvania school construction. Local experience matters. What I found in my experience, firms familiar with Pennsylvania school construction can, better navigate the unique challenges and nuances involved. They understand the state school building codes, safety regulations, education specifications, ensuring compliance and minimizing potential disruptions to the project timeline, which is usually the biggest problems, and budget. Furthermore, firms rooted in local connections can leverage their established relationships with trusted contractors and suppliers. The relationships can lead to more competitive bids, better quality work, and other project execution situations, key elements for maintaining project integrity and cost effectiveness. Experience in navigating the Pennsylvania procurement methods can be critical in a project's success. Ensuring transparency and efficiency, particularly with firms experienced in local school construction. Additionally, maximizing funding capabilities is essential in today's economic climate. A firm with knowledge about availability of grants in Pennsylvania, school districts, and a successful track record in securing them for their partners, their clients, can significantly increase or ease the financial burden on the community, freezing up more funds for improving and reducing taxpayer impact.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah,
That'd be
thank you. And
great.
again, it's common sense to use someone that has experience in Pennsylvania. And
Thank
I
you.
thank you for the time
Yep.
tonight.
Thank you. Agenda item 6, board committee reports, 6.1, working session. A working session was held on May 12, 2025 at 6 p.m. The following committees met at that time: curriculum and special education, legislative and policy, and a board workshop was held on May 29, 2025. Chester County Intermediate Unit, Ms. Munson.
Chester County Intermediate Unit met Wednesday, May 21st. And we had a presentation from a student who was a leader of their flower show participation. The CCIU horticultural program was at the Philadelphia Flower Show and actually won 2 blue ribbons, a ribbon in their class, which was the, I wrote this down, what was it? Oh man, I'm not reading what the class name was, but the theme was Gardens of Tomorrow. And then they won the Outstanding Blue Ribbon Award, which is like the best of all the people who won blue ribbons. So very proud of their participation there. They actually brought the whole setup home and set it up so that we could see it there in the boardroom as we were meeting. So that was pretty exciting. They also gave us a presentation on BVA wellness check-ins. So this was from a new amendment at the state level. 2024 Act 55 was amended. Act 55 amended Act 14 to require weekly check-ins for all online students. And the reasoning behind this is very sad. It came out of, a student where the community, in looking at their situation after their death, resolved that had there been better diligence in terms of checking in on their health while they were in an online schooling program, that is possible that their death could have been prevented. But the folks who are doing this at the CCIU, at BVA Academy, are reporting that since they have started the wellness check-in pilot program, they really are seeing additional benefits aside from that very sad worst case scenario of preventing a death, that they feel like they're having better connections with their students. It's just a weekly time when the student is required to be on the camera and answering questions real time to ensure that that student really is attentive, paying, that it's not someone else submitting their work on their behalf. And so that was really good to hear. Sometimes the reason for these rules and laws is sad, but we can see additional benefits from them. So they're going to institute this wellness check-in program for all BVA students, starting with the fall class, and they're expecting it to be wildly successful in terms of better connection for our online student community. And I know that we rely heavily on the BVA that's the Brandywine Virtual Academy program for students who want a recommendation from our district as to what online program to use, or are only taking a few online courses in integration with their coursework in the building at OJR. So I'm very proud of that program as they presented it, and hope it is as successful as they anticipate it will be. We also got to hear from Chester County Recruiting Consortium, which is a talent acquisition program for all the Chester County districts. They've had 200 candidates this past year, hosted or attended 11 job fairs, and are very actively looking to fill our positions in our district as well as the other districts. And also, I believe a number of us attended the CCIU legislative breakfast. They had over 140 attendees. And one of the things featured there was the uncertainty of funding for the homeless programs, because that is generally funded at the federal level. So we also heard a presentation on the homeless outreach program at the CCIU, which has reached 216 students across 20 LEAs in the past year. So there's some important information for you out of the CCIU. Next meeting is Wednesday, June 18th at 7:30 at the TCHS Brandywine Building. Thank you.
Thank you. 6.3 Curriculum and Special Education Committee, Dr. Rattoli.
The Curriculum and Special Education Committee met during the May working session, and there was one item on the agenda. Dr. Fletcher shared information about the Reveal Math resource. Throughout the year, middle school and high school math teachers have reviewed several math resources for pre-algebra and Algebra 1. The department was looking for a resource to provide greater consistency, increased rigor, and additional supplemental lessons to differentiate instruction. Two middle school teachers, Anna Chan for grade 7 and Samantha Nelson for grade 8, spoke about their experience using the program. The strengths of the program included increased student engagement, additional assessment banks, differentiation for lessons, and real-world problems that students appreciate. Dr. Fletcher discussed next steps, including professional development, common assessments, and unit planning. The Reveal Math resource is on the agenda this evening. Our next curriculum and special education meeting is scheduled for the June working session on June 2nd. That's the report.
Thank you, Dr. Rattoli. 6.4 Finance, Building and Grounds Committee. I think Mr. Harmanos on Zoom.
Good evening. On tonight's agenda for the final proposed are the final proposed government and proprietary fund budgets for next year, 2025, 2026. The the district held 5 public meetings to review and discuss the proposed budgets for next year. All presentations are located on the district's website and in board docs backup to this meeting's agenda. Next year's tax increase to fund the operating budget is 2.5%, which is lower than 10 other schools in Chester County, and also below the Act 1 index of 4%. These items are listed in agenda items 13.15 and 13.16. In addition, agenda items 13.17 through 13.24 are annual business and related board approvals required to begin the next fiscal year on July 1st. On tonight's agenda, we are including 2 facility-related approvals. In 13.26, we're approving the Schrader Group to begin design services for renovations to the district service center. And this renovation will be covered under the capital fund budget that we've already presented. And in item 13.27, we are asking for approval for Skanska to provide construction management services for the secondary campus facilities plan. Skanska, among 2 other firms, were interviewed, and Skanska demonstrated their experience in institutional, higher ed, and K through 12 within the local markets. And they have a vast bench, and they also provided examples of tools and practices that will save us time and money on this project. Finally, the Finance Building and Grounds Committee would like to thank Jackie Crumrine for her service to this school district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harmon. 6.5, Legislative and Policy, Ms. Evans.
Thank you. The Legislative and Policy Committee met during the May 12th working session to review several policies and regulations. I think there were about 16 on the list, so I won't read them off at this moment. Each regulation was approved, and the committee voted to move all but 1 policy to the full board for a first reading. Those policies that were moved forward are listed on tonight's agenda under agenda item 7.5. Further changes were requested by the committee and the board to the district's new AI policy, policy 815.1. We'll be bringing back the updated policy for the committee and board to review at the next working session on June 2nd.
Thank you, Ms. Evans. 6.6, Personnel, Mr. Chester.
Personnel Committee did not meet during the May working session, so no report tonight.
Thank you. Okay. We are moving on to agenda item 7, recommended routine matters and consent items. May I have a motion to approve recommended routine matters as consent items 7.2 through 7.5?
So moved.
Dr. Melnizak.
Second.
Dr. Ratoli, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item 8, 8.1, the acknowledgement, receipt of donations, contribution, and gifts. May I have a motion to acknowledge receipt of donations, contributions, and gift as presented?
So moved.
District-wide, the Giant Company donated $6,164.81 for the Feeding School Kids campaign. At East Coventry Elementary School, the PTO donated $10 per student for field trips, and the 24-25 donations were used as follows. In kindergarten, $630 to Ridge Fire Company for the trip to Ridge Fire Company. In first grade, $660 for the trip to Farm Day at the high school. Second grade, $520 for Legoland Discovery Center. The third graders received $720 for their trip to Weaver's Orchard. Fourth grade received $710 for the Please Touch Museum. The fifth grade received $970 for Historical Joanna Furnace. And in sixth grade, they received $670 for the Challenger Center at Montgomery Community College. At North Coventry Elementary School, the PTA donated $1,040 for a first grade field trip to Elmwood Park Zoo, $1,144 for the second grade field trip to the Da Vinci Science Center, and $1,014 for a sixth grade field trip to Citizens Bank Park. At West Vincent Elementary School, the PTA donated $400.38 to pay for busing for the sixth grade picnic and $750 for the fifth grade field trip to the Franklin Institute. Do I have a motion to acknowledge the receipt of those donations?
So moved.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion?
I have a question. With regards to the giant donation Feeding School Kids campaign, I know that our food service budget is actually separate from the remainder of our school district. Is that going directly into the food service budget?
Yes, it's going directly into the food service budget, and we use it to help really food insecure families throughout the year.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item 9, we're moving into approval of routine matters. 9.1, may I have a motion for the approval of meeting minutes as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Malmazak?
Second.
Mr. Chester, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 10.1, board discussion. Is there any board discussion at this time? Agenda item 11.1, old business. Mrs. Carmine, is there any old business?
No, Mrs. Peterson, there is
Okay,
no
thank you.
business right now. Thanks.
Agenda item 12, new business, approval of personnel matters as consent items. May I have a motion, or 12.1, may I have a motion to approve personnel matters as consent items 12.2 through 12.7?
So moved.
Mr. Chester,
Second.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we are moving into new business and then the 13 agenda items, or the 20 some odd agenda items under the 13 heading. So 13.1, the approval of out-of-state overnight student trips. May I have a motion for the approval of out-of-state overnight student trips as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Chester,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.2, the approval ratification of conference attendance. May I have a motion for the approval ratification of conference attendance as presented? Please,
So moved.
Dr. Otoli.
Second.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.3, the approval of the PSBA Legislative Policy Council delegates. May I have a motion for the approval of Sarah Evans and Dr. Nicholas Rotoli to be the PSBA Legislative Policy Council delegates for the 25-26 school year as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Munson,
Second.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? Thank you both for your service.
Sure. Can I vote on this or do I?
Absolutely.
abstain? Okay.
All in favor, or any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.4, the approval of appointment of law firm for construction matters. May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of Saxton and Stump as legal counsel for construction matters for the period of July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026?
So moved.
Ms. Munson,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.5, the approval of the appointment of a law firm to general legal counsel. May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of Fox Rothschild LLP for general legal counsel for the period of July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026 as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Evans?
Second.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, and I think that means you're stuck with us for another year, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
13.6, the approval of the appointment of law firm for special education matters. May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of Sweet, Stevens, Katz, and Williams as legal counsel for the special education, as legal counsel for special education for the period of July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026 as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Melmezak?
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.7, the approval of the appointment of law firm for real estate assessment appeals. May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of Picardi Phillips Ottaviano? Ottaviano as legal counsel for real estate assessment appeals for the period of July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026, as presented.
So moved.
Dr. Melmezak,
Second.
Ms. Munson, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.8, the approval of textbooks for the 25-26 school year. May I have a motion for the approval of textbooks for the 25-26 school year as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Chester,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion?
For those who did not hear the workshop, I think it was very helpful hearing from the teachers who did the pilot program. I think so many times we're trying to roll out things and we're not sure how the teachers are going to be able to teach from it. And it gave me a lot more confidence voting for this.
Especially when it's a larger change, you know, it's not just one textbook, it's how we are delivering math to our middle students. I agree. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.9, the approval of policies for second reading. May I have a motion for the approval of policies for second reading as presented, and that's policy 308, policy 707, policy 707.1, and policy 823.
So moved.
Dr. Ratoli,
Second.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.10, approval of policies for deletion for second reading. May I have a motion for the approval of policies for deletion for second reading as presented, which is policy 008 and 008.1.
So moved.
Ms. Evans?
Second.
Ms. Munson, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.11, the approval of medical examiners as presented. May I have a motion for the approval of medical examiners as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Melmezak,
Second.
Dr. Ratoli, any discussion?
I'm always appreciative of the doctors who are willing to deliver this for us.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.12, the approval of confidential addendum to a settlement agreement. May I have a motion for the approval of a confidential addendum to settlement agreement for student in the 24-25, student 24-25-11 as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Otoli,
Second.
Ms. Evans, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.13, the approval of a confidential settlement and release. May I have a motion for the approval of a confidential settlement and release for student 24-25-12 as presented?
So moved.
Was that Dr. Melmezak? Dr. Melmezak.
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.14, the approval of student activity club and advisors and student officers. May I have a motion for the approval of student activity clubs, advisors, and student officers in accordance with the provisions of Section 511 of the Pennsylvania School Code for the 24-25 year as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Chester. Second. Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.15, the approval of final 25-26 governmental and proprietary funds budget. May I have a motion for the approval of final 25-26 governmental and proprietary funds budget as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Melmezak,
Second.
Ms. Evans, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.16, the approval of receipt of proposed tax resolution for the 25-26 school year, 25-26 fiscal year. May I have a motion for the approval of receipt of proposed tax resolution for the 25-26 fiscal year as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Otoli? Second. Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? I'd like to once again extend our thanks to Mrs. Carmine and our staff and Ms. Kalinsky on the work that was done this year through our budget process. We know it is an arduous task and we appreciate the diligence in which the staff does. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.17, the approval of delegates for Chester County Tax Collection Committee. May I have a motion for the approval of delegates for Chester County Tax Collection Committee as presented?
So move.
Dr. Melnazak,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.18, the approval of a resolution establishing tax collector compensation procedures and rules. May I have a motion for the approval of a resolution establishing tax collector compensation procedures and rules as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Evans,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.19, the approval of 2025 Homestead and Farmstead Exclusion Resolution. May I have a motion for the approval of the 2025 Homestead and Farmstead Exclusion Resolution as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Otoli?
Second.
Dr. Melnazak, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.20, the approval of appointment bond coverage and facsimile signature for board treasurer. May I have a motion for the approval of appointment board bond coverage and facsimile signature for board treasurer as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Chester,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.21, the approval of appointment and bonds coverage for board secretary. May I have a motion for the approval of appointment and bond coverage for board secretary as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Chester,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.22, the approval of annual filing of board officer's signature per facsimile signature act. Really thrilling. Approval, may I have a motion for the approval? That approval be granted for signatures of the school board president, secretary, and treasurer who are involved with instruments of payment of public securities be filed with the Secretary of the Commonwealth as per the Uniform Facsimile Signature of Public Officials Act of July 25th, 1961, PL 849, as amended, PS Section 302 et sequitur. Please, may I have the motion?
So moved.
Ms. Evans.
Nice job.
Do you want me to read it again? Or you go?
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion?
Your Latin was
Mm,
excellent.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Almost Roman.
Okay, let's not get crazy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.23. 13.23, the approval of banks as depositories of school funds for the 25-26 fiscal year. May I have a motion for the approval of banks as depositories for school funds for the 25-26 fiscal year as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Chevelle Fuller,
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.24, the authorization for employees to act as agents in signing vouchers and checks. May I have a motion for the authorization for employees to act as agents in signing vouchers and checks for the 25-26 fiscal year as presented?
So moved.
Dr. Otoli. Second. Ms. Chevelle Fuller, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.25, the approval of reasonable assurance to continue business with Schrader Group Architecture LLC after the company merges with Horde Copeland Mocked Incorporated. May I have a motion for the approval of reasonable assurance to continue business with Schrader Group Architecture LLC after the company merges with Horde Copeland Mocked Incorporated as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Munson.
Second.
Dr. Otoli, will we now have to use the term Horde, Copeland, and Mocked? Because I'm gonna have to work on saying that.
No, I think they're going, right now, as far as we understand, they're going to continue to do business as Schrader
Schrader.
Group. That's how they're identified.
Thank you.
That may change at some time in the future, but you're good for now.
That's okay. I've got time then. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.26, the approval for addendum number 2 to the original architectural services agreement with Schrader Group to provide design services for renovations to the District Service Center. May I have a motion for the approval of addendum number 2 to the original architectural services agreement with Schrader Group to provide design services for renovations to the District Services Center as presented?
So moved.
Ms. Munson.
Second.
Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.27, the approval of construction management services with Skanska, a USA Building Incorporated for the long-term facilities plan on the secondary campus. May I have a motion for the approval of construction management firm with Skanska USA Building, Inc., 1010 Spring Mill Road, Suite 300, Conshohocken, PA 19428, for the long-term facilities plan on the secondary campus. The agreement is subject to solicitor review and approval.
So moved.
Dr. Otoli.
Second.
Ms. Evans, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 13.28, the approval of professional services maintenance agreements. May I have a motion for the approval of professional services maintenance agreements as presented? And I am not going to read it.
So moved.
Ms.
Second.
Munson, Dr. Otoli, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Whew, okay. We are moving into agenda item 14. 14.1, public comment. 14.1, public comment. Information, proposals, and statements from individuals or delegations pertaining to any item. Speakers are to indicate your name and township of residence. Speakers will be limited to not more than 3 minutes. Please understand that this is not a time for dialogue with the board. Rather, the board will listen to all comments and consider them in future deliberations. If you have a question for the school board, please email all Board of School Directors at schoolboardmembers@ojrsd.net. For anyone online who would like to make a comment, please use the raise hand function. When it is your turn to speak, please state your name and township of residence.
Good evening, board members. I'm Aisha Mohammed from West Vincent.
And I'm Emily from East Vincent Township.
And we are here representing a new campaign called Green Schools Campaign. Our goal is to provide green alternatives to the schools in Owen J. Roberts School District. Schools are a major cause of pollution, for they hold mass amounts of people in classrooms which require a lot of energy. And as students of Owen J. Roberts, we have come to notice the following: water quality, inconsistent temperatures throughout the school, and mass use of non-renewable resources in the elementary schools. These problems all come from the use of non-renewable resources, and all over the school, non-renewable resources are used, such as throughout the cafeteria, buses, boilers, and electricity in the elementary school.
We have noticed on the 2023 master plan that plans to operate over the next couple of years that there are plans to replace old units in the boiler room with new ones because their life expectancy has come to an end. We were hoping that the school board would consider incorporating natural resources such as biomass, geothermal energy, solar thermal, or beat pumps in the new equipment. We would also like to bring up the point that elementary schools would become more suited to the students if solar panels were installed. Solar panel installations in school often provide tax credits and grant programs from the government being paid to the schools because of the school's contributions to clean energy. We would like to begin a club in the high school to promote green alternatives. And as a club, we would hold fundraisers and raise more awareness for our cause, and it can help reduce the cost to install the equipment. We hope you consider some of these ideas. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Ryan Fisher from North Coventry. I'm a North Coventry resident here on behalf of the families and volunteers involved in the Scouting America program. The Scouts are committed to supporting the public schools within the Owen J. Roberts area to ensure equal access to the Scouting program and its proven character development experiences. Scouting helps youth build experiences with leadership, citizenship, and strong values throughout outdoor programs and community service. In fact, youth that participate in Scouting statistically are found to be nearly twice as likely to surpass their parents in education and income, which is a real path to the American dream. Before COVID, every public elementary school within the district had a scout unit that specifically served the students in that school. And unfortunately, afterwards, we do not have that same presence. This year, we are investing the funding and volunteer leadership to re-engage those schools and reach those underserved areas with our volunteers, and are working hard to keep scouting free or affordable, including a free summer science program that is open to all students at the elementary age that are interested, ran by our volunteers near North Coventry, but all ONJ Roberts students are invited. We are grateful that the school district is working with us, and we want to strengthen that partnership. We're excited to return to meeting in the elementary school cafeterias and find the change to the facility requirements affordable for our families. We're seeking to get clarification with the administrators on how we can support the district by sharing our values like leadership, emotional intelligence, and service through brief, possibly in-school presentations or assemblies, which we would be more than happy to run with the help of students within our program and our volunteers. Today, nearly over 250 district families are involved in scouting program that are ONJ Robert families. We are here, ready, and excited to do more to meet the community needs. Thank you for your time and your commitment.
Okay, yeah. We are moving into agenda item 15, board discussion, follow-up, and request for information. Does the board have any follow-up or request for information at this time?
I just wanted to ask about the grants for the solar projects, because I did read that they came through.
Sure, I am happy to report that we did apply for 3 grants for 3 of our buildings through the PA Solar grant opportunity, and we did receive 3 of them. They total almost $900,000. So the state has approved that funding, and if you recall, there's another piece of it that is federally funded. And in order for it to provide a reasonable payback for the district, we need the federal funding piece as well. So that is really what we're waiting on. Shannon Crooker from Generation 180, who's the one that helped us get those grants, the nonprofit organization, she did send an email out, I think it was either Friday or Saturday, that the new proposal for the federal government is that you have to have shovels in the ground in 60 days and a completed project by 2028. It will take at least 6 months of planning and design for that work. So I actually, before our board meeting, started to type up communications to our federal legislators to promote, extending that 60 days. It's an impossible deadline. So that's where we are.
I would just add that's the intention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. With that, we are adjourned.